From the real reasons people are criticizing Baldur's Gate 3 to the truth about how you might get banned in Diablo 4 for absolutely no reason at all. I'm Cooley and I'm bringing you the gaming news from the $2 billion spaceship that flies around Sanctuary at 7 times the speed of light. Let's dive in. Baldur's Gate 3 has enjoyed a suspicious level of rave reviews since its launch. Is this game really as good as its Metacritic score suggests? All the negative reviews of BG3 are seemingly being brushed off as of late. I think we ought to dive into some of these and check out the real reasons why people might be upset and leaving negative reviews about the game. In the spirit of, honest and fair journalism. Baldur's Gate 3 is a classic RPG that meshes in-depth storytelling and combat with D&D style decisions. This is quite an original concept and design. Or is it? The original Sin series did the same thing in 2017. It meshed turn-based attack style combat with deep storytelling. You also have companions in that game with their own story, co-op, and just like in BG3, you can use your character's inherent skills to completely dodge encounters and solve problems in creative ways. But the irony of this is that original Sin was similarly criticized for feeling like earlier versions of Baldur's Gate upon its release. You know what? That's it. I think these two gaming studios ought to fight it out in court. And BG3 needs to get a good defense. Someone who's used to arguing about stolen content.
I'm being thieved in a moral way that I'm thieving this guy. It seems like if somebody has a lawsuit, it seems like it's me on them. I mean, that's what it looks like to me.
Such a suit wouldn't hold any water in America because you can't sue yourself. These two games were made by the same company. I'm not saying that Baldur's Gate 3 isn't a great game, but the people making these reviews are simply saying it fucking should be. Larian Studios has had plenty of time to develop this style of game throughout the years, so these players are saying that we should expect it to be so great and flawless upon its release. But that isn't the only thing the internet is all fired up about. Some players were not aware of how much would be force-fed into their gaming experience. Rebutters say that the game literally comes with a not safe for work warning when you try to download it. Back in my day, no game was safe for work. What the fuck what are bosses doing these days? Just busting in for reviews like, "What game are you playing on company time? Better not be that Baldur's Gate 3 titty bullshit."
This might be our last chance to explore the possibility of a deeper relationship.
Chill out, man. It's just Diablo 2. See? Yeah, Howard knew you had good taste, Dunk. That's why we hired you. I'm putting you up for premonition. Okay. The game includes a romance arc for most companions, which involves your character becoming very intimately involved with them.
Baldur's Gate 3 developer Larian has teased some unusual romance options in the upcoming fantasy role-playing game, including one that lets you have the druid in bear form. Okay.
This feature is quite literally rubbing some people the wrong way. Rebutters say that the romance in this game is optional and easy to avoid. But is it? Romance triggers in BG3 aren't always obvious and lead some players to see things that they might not have known they were signing up for. Look, don't project your own insecurities onto the reviews of this game, alright? It's not this game's fault that you might learn something about yourself that you should have told your parents years ago.
I will be gentle.
Hey! What are you looking at? We're trying to do a quest over here. Just because he pulls his beard tries doesn't make me gay. Regardless, many of the negative reviews have expressed discontent with practically every companion having a thing for the player and no real way to just be nice and avoid these interactions altogether. It's honestly just good to see games out these days that focus on the story and that offer a refreshing change of pace. Much like Tales and Dragons: New Journey. Transitions. Tales and Dragons: New Journey is an immersive mobile RPG that you can play while on the shitter at work. But don't be surprised if those bathroom breaks last longer than expected. The gameplay is all about making choices and seeing how they pan out over time. A refreshing change of pace from most games we see today. Your decisions put you directly in the middle of the action, interacting with a diverse group of fairy tale characters, leveling up along the way, and collecting some of the most intricate heroes as you go. But you better bring the right ones. Use your intuition intuition to not only understand the story arc, but to select the best team for the job. Your choices create the story and develop characters to create unique endings. As soon as you log in, you get over 1,000 free draws, so you can find the hero that best suits you or make a valiant effort to collect them all. If you've been waiting to support the channel, this is a great way to do it. Download it with my link in the description or the QR code right here. Be sure to use my code for a starter pack worth $30. You can thank me later. Let's get back to Sanctuary. Speaking of controversy, Diablo IV can't escape it. In a recent controversial video released by the official Diablo YouTube channel, many people on the internet criticized two of the devs who were asked to play some Diablo IV while talking about it. While the conversation surrounding the topic was great, the gameplay in the background was anything but. This made many players believe that the devs don't even play their own game. But more importantly, it led most people to wonder how the this was ever allowed to happen in the first place. Okay, as per the request of top management, and as most of you know, we are keeping tallies of the employees and how much they thank their fellow companions at work. And guess who was at the bottom of the list this week? That's right, something tells me you already knew. So the repercussions this week are going to be that you two have to play Diablo 4 in front of millions of people. Be ready, we're going live in 5, okay? Get your shit together, I've seen both of you play. Now look, I'm not going to sit here and chastise these brave souls for their bad gameplay. Instead, I'd like to chastise the game as a whole for not being good enough to make them want to play it more. These guys are going home and playing Baldur's Gate or fucking Tears of the Kingdom or something. They weren't playing Diablo 4. That's for goddamn sure. The game has lost about 90% of the search interest it enjoyed upon its launch, but something tells me those search numbers are about to go right back up. The D4 team also recently removed the trade function in-game because of an item and gold duplication glitch. The good news is, we finally know how much gold you can have on your account. The bad news is, every item of any kind of value was going for about that amount recently.
These pair of pants with the quad damage reduction sold for 6 billion gold.
The truly fascinating thing here is, we're not sure if Blizzard actually knows how to ban people for this appropriately. Just take a look at this EULA. It is technically possible for a player to not have been in the Sanctuary Discord, have no idea what's going on, and just see the price of everything going up. Reasonably assume something's probably going on. I'm not involved. I'm just going to get some gold so I can re-roll some items. Look, I'll just say I don't have a horse in this race. I haven't logged into Diablo 4 for weeks now, but I have seen them do similar things like this in the past. Now, while there might be a certain level of plausible deniability to that, you have to realize that under this EULA, those people can be punished. Is it just me, or does banning players for utilizing exploits in your game seem a little bit backwards? I've always wondered how different things would be if studios handsomely rewarded players for reporting exploits and figuring them out, and didn't worry so much about the back-end punishment for the deed, especially for things that didn't involve third-party programs. And should D4 really be banning any of its player base at this point, like let alone potentially ones that weren't even directly involved? I guess we'll see how this one pans out. Maybe they'll find an intelligent way to do this, but a little scary. As a silver lining in today's report, we at least have something special to look forward to this year, and that is Super Mario RPG, the remake. Nintendo, a passionate team of devs in a game that's already been made before, which seems to be the winning formula these days. I can't wait to see what Valentina looks like in high definition with these enhanced graphics. Might have to pull a Larian Studios here, put a not safe for work warning on this one too, a first for the franchise. Nintendo, no longer for babies. I don't know what the fuck we do on this channel anymore.